What is up, everybody? Today we're going to be doing a little in the field experiment for this leg day. So one thing that I've been looking into is actually a training strategy from John Meadows. Other people have made this popular too. And it's a way to improve your leg day, to improve your squats. And that's actually hitting hamstrings before you squat, quite extensively too. So the rationale behind this is that it kind of warms you up, greases the groove, and gets your knees and your whole posterior chain ready to squat. And the good thing is hitting your hamstrings before you squat isn't as systemically fatiguing, whereas if you squat and then hit your hamstrings, you might be pretty spent. So I'm interested to try this out because it kind of goes against your traditional order of exercise theory. Like typically you want to do the compound, multiple joint movements first and then progress to other things. But we're going to see how this works out today. And anecdotally, it's been said that it just makes you feel great in the bottom of your squats and that it overall enhances your leg day. So I'm going to be testing this out and telling you my thoughts, getting a couple clips along the way. So stay tuned if you're interested in all of that. I'll see you soon.
Alrighty, now that we have all that fun stuff out of the way, let's get to the training. So the first movement you'll see me doing here is actually a seated hamstring curl. And the goal for this movement was 3 sets of 8 repetitions with a 1 to 2 second hold at the end of the range of motion to really get a strong contraction there. I think I was a little ambitious on the weight. This was pretty challenging. So I had a 45, a 10, and a 5 on plate loaded machine. But I will say, I do feel like I got a good amount of activation here. I could really feel the blood pumping through my hamstrings and it got me ready. It did the job. So if you try this, use a moderate weight and I promise it will pay off. Now, the next thing I did, which was called pump insurance, was some lying leg curls. And I did 2 sets of 20 repetitions, at a moderate weight. I think I had about 90 pounds on the stack here. Just really trying to keep my form clean, but go to an intensity that gave me a solid hamstring pump. So what you'll see here, I always like to extend my legs fully out and then I curl my hamstrings up like I'm doing a bicep curl. I take that similar type of mind to muscle connection to the leg day training. So another benefit that I didn't mention is the pure aestheticness of, I don't know if that's a word, of the hamstrings. A lot of people neglect your hamstrings and are quad dominant, and I felt like I was able to train my hamstrings even a little bit harder than I typically would after squatting with this approach. So getting to the squats, I did 3 sets of 235, which was a moderate weight for me. Goal here is to control the eccentric or the lowering portion as much as possible, and then you only come up to about 3/4 of the way up, so you're keeping constant tension on the quads. And I will say, I think that hitting hamstrings first was a big benefit for my squats. I felt like I was more explosive out of the hole, and it just felt like overall my lower body was more engaged in the squats. Wanted to throw in a little bit of a bonus for you guys. This Bulgarian split squat drop set of death, which once again I took from John Meadows on YouTube. Basically what you'll do here, and you'll see me doing the top set, is you work up to somewhat heavy set of 8 on these split squats. And then you hold each repetition at the end on the 8th rep for 8 seconds. This was completely brutal, but it gets worse because then you drop down the entire stack. So I actually overestimated this and tried to start at 35 to do 35, 30, 25, 20. And I was not successful in this. So if you want to try it, it's a great way to get some quad growth, some glute growth, but beware, this was the most brutal leg day training I've ever done. And you can see that in my grimacing expressions. So a couple form tips here. What I'll do for split squats is hold the dumbbell in one arm and then support myself with a barbell. Could be any stationary thing in the gym. And it's not like I'm really pressing hard on that stationary object, but it's just for balance so I can really isolate and activate my quads and my glutes on the leg that is being worked. So there, you can see me dying, the grimace of my face. Didn't make it long onto that one, and I had to hobble off and reset onto my 20-pound dumbbell here. And this was just pure pain and quad destruction. So if you're in for a challenging leg day, definitely give this one a shot. I will say the hamstrings felt super activated and pumped still for this, and I think it really benefited me. But as we're closing out here, guys, I really appreciate you watching this video. And there's the last one. Didn't make it long at all into this one. If you're gonna do this, just know that knock your weight down a little bit and leave your ego at the door, because it's gonna be a trip. Guys, thank you so much for checking this video out. If you feel like training your hamstrings before your squats could benefit you, I would recommend that you try it. It's a different way of training than what I typically do and what I typically program for my clients, but I think it paid off, and excited to work that into people's workouts. So if you don't mind, give this video a like. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. If you want to stay and do the most, stay up to date with everything, there's a little bell notification button that apparently will tell you whenever I post a YouTube video, which my goal is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, bringing content to you guys on a consistent basis, something I love doing. So thank you all so much for watching the video. Catch you in the next one.